I heard that what happens this week will astonish you. If you're excited to see how this week will unfold, go ahead and drop a comment and say, I'm excited. Give this video a thumbs up. Reserve your place in the sacred space. That just means subscribe because it's free. Okay, if you want to join the Candle Magic crew, you can do that too by clicking join on the join button. We're going to start with, did I say welcome to the sacred space? I hope you're doing well and I'm glad you are here. We're going to start with this playing card deck. Get to some, what is it called? Cartomancy. Let's see what is here for us first. What's happening this week? Then we'll get into the Unfolding Path Tarot to see why this is here. You got the Four of Swords. The Four of Spades is the Four of Swords. This week might be pretty chill. You may be able to kick back and possibly relax this week. Or there may be a need for you to. Okay. Someone may be able to, travel. You may be able to go somewhere, someplace relaxing, or maybe you just need to. Now, this week, we start this week. Today is September 28th. So we're just about wrapping up the 7th month. We're moving into October. Now, our first episode over on our astrology channel, our first podcast episode is uploaded. Okay, you can check that out. I'm going to have a link in the description box if you wish to get into the astrology report for this week. It's going to be very deep and exciting, so I hope to see you over there as well. You will also be able to see it if you would like to on Spotify. Okay, it's called The Illuminous Path on Spotify. The Illuminous Path on Spotify. So, okay, we have the Four of Swords. Relaxation. Let's get into the Folding Path Tarot to see why is this Four of Swords coming up for this week. What is happening this week that is going to astonish us? Oh, okay. That's beautiful. Oh, the Temperance on the bottom of the deck. Something is definitely alchemizing, healing, balancing out. Something you've been waiting a long time for could be finalized. It's finally getting worked out. It's finally working out. I found that one thing that I needed to do. I found that secret sauce, that perfect potion, that strategy, whatever it is. You've been working on something maybe a long time, and this week you may also see the results, or you may possibly finish a project, and then you can kind of like ease up, lay back, relax a little bit. What happens this week brings you peace of mind. Things finally get moving. I think this week is going to be more of a worry-free or less stressful week for you. Top of the deck energy is the Eight of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, so this is going to be a chill week. Eight of Wands is a fast-moving energy. It's a lot going on, a lot of communication, and just a lot happening all at once, and it can be chaotic. So with that on top of the deck and Temperance on the bottom of the deck, this is going to be a chill week. And if things get chaotic, you are going to turn it around and say, I'm not going to let that worry me. I got to figure something out. Hold on, wait a minute, let me figure something out, because I need a breather. You're going to be able to do that, okay, with the Six of Swords. You also have the Five of Wands. This is what I'm saying. Even if things start out and they seem challenging at first, you're going to be like, wait a minute. There's got to be a better way for me to move about and to navigate through this. And being stressed or, dealing with competition or whatever it is, all these energies, because there's going to be a big shift this week, okay? Especially on October 2nd. We're going to shift into our 8th month. But like I said, we talk more about that over on our podcast called The Illuminous Path. But yes, there's still gonna be some work that needs to be done. I'm not saying like there won't be any challenges, but those challenges are being faced head on in a more stress-free way. Like your perspective on how to handle it may change. Then you also have the World card. Okay, so this is about movement too. And this is about travel as well. And this is also about a chapter ending, a phase ending. Like I said, we're at the end of our 7th month. Now we're talking about from a perspective outside of the Gregorian calendar that we have been conditioned to live off of and navigate through. And we're entering into a new phase on October the 2nd. So something ends. Like I said, you may wrap up or finish a project and you can go and enjoy yourself. You can relax. You can finally take, a vacation or something like this, because whatever you've been working on has been very, very challenging. Okay. So that ends. And then you got the Hangman. That's your perspective. You're seeing something from a different perspective. You got some major transitions happening this week. Yeah, there's a situation that has been challenging, possibly that you've been dealing with for a long time. And now this week you see it from a different perspective and you're like, what is the point of me stressing about it? Stress is just adding on that energy that I don't even need. I'm fighting against the grain for no reason. I'm not about to keep doing that. I see what it is now. So let's see what your soul is going to call for you to do. This is through the eyes of the Soul Oracle. I see you taking a pause, taking a break, a much needed break. Let's see. What is the soul going to call for us to do? And whatever this perspective is, it's kind of like an aha moment. This is where the astonishment comes in. You see that energy right there around her crown chakra? Something is definitely going to astonish you. You'll find something out. Or some tough cycle or something like that. The Five of Wands being tough to challenge. Some tough cycle ends and it's astonishing. It's like, wow. Maybe with the Capricorn energy of the world, the Saturn energy of this World card, it's like, Saturn, you got Saturn and then you got Neptune right after Saturn. This Hangman is Neptune energy, right? And it's like, wow, I can't believe that cycle is really over. I've been dealing with that for so long. It's been so challenging. And finally, I can rest. I can relax. Finally, that's over. I can breathe now. Finally, I can move forward. I can proceed forward to the next step. I never thought I would be able to finish that. It's been so challenging. Let's see what your soul is calling for you to do this week. What happens this week is astonishing. It will amaze you. And also, when you work real hard and you figure out a way to work smart, it's like, wow, I can get this done and that done in this same however many hours it is in a week. I had the same 24 hours in this day, but somehow I got everything done. It was kind of breezy. It was kind of easy. Something like that will happen. Let's see what the soul is calling for us to do this week. You have the number 34. And it says start new, begin again. Yep. This is your new strategy right there. We're like, hold on, wait a minute. There's got to be an easier or better way for me to deal with or handle this. And I know one thing, stressing about it, that's not going to be what it is. I don't care how challenging it is. And you also have 44. Something about maybe the number 10, 34 to 44. And it says have hope for the future. New energies are coming in. Yep, new energies are coming in. Some cycle ended. And it mostly has to do with your perspective on how to deal with your situations. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, you have the number 17, which would be connected in with the star card. It says magic is alive. Ask your divine child. Top of the deck energy is the number 5. You're going to be weaving your own destiny. And speaking of weaving, we talked about the energy of the spider over in today's podcast episode. Okay. So let's see what the message is from Archangel Michael. This is the Archangel Michael Sword of Light Oracle. What does Archangel Michael have to say about this week? Okay, you got the number 13. You're getting your power back. Because for some of you, maybe you have forgotten who you are. You are a child of the divine. So take back your power. That's what's going to happen this week. And look at this energy. Amazing. Astonishing. Wow. You're going to be like, wow. I did my thing on that one. Something about sunflowers. Or maybe just wearing a flower in the hair or something like that. Something blossoms. Something blooms. Something opens up your perspective on how to deal with a situation. And you call back your power. That's what you do. That's what you're going to do. Bottom of the deck is the number 9. It says don't give up on love. There's a lot about dolphins. You see the dolphins here, the dolphins here. A relationship you cherish can be healed. Ooh. Allow Archangel Michael to clear the way for forgiveness so that love can thrive again. Top of the deck energy is the number 10. Don't settle for less. There's major transformation happening. See the butterflies? Major transformation happening possibly within your family dynamic with the dolphins. Don't settle for less. You are a child of the divine. That's like reiterating. You are a child of the divine and you deserve to have your dreams come true. Don't give up. Some dream may come true and it's going to be astonishing. Because the blockages, you've moved past the blockage. Saturn energy, when you pass Saturn and move into Neptune, you release some kind of blockage. You know, Saturn is that long, hard way. It's, you know, Father Time is like taking forever, you know, for things to happen. It's like tradition. So this week something happens where it's just not traditional. This week is not like any other week for some people. Someone is going to step into that unknown energy just beyond the restrictions where your dreams, this is, you know, Neptune energy is about your dreams. But there's also a situation that you have dealt with or you are going to deal with. You can't escape it. Neptune energy is about escapism as well. You cannot escape whatever this challenge is. And you know that, but you don't let it stress you out. It's like this too shall pass. I just got to work through it. I got to move through it. And there's situations where you have been moving through that will present a breakthrough, and you can move on into calmer waters. 6 of Swords is usually what they say is the calmer waters that you're moving in. You understand? But it's a big thing with your perspective changing. Like I can't change the situation, but I can change how I handle it. I can choose to, you know, stress, or I can choose to, you know, just navigate through this step by step or something like that. Let's see how you're being called to work your light. This is the Work Your Light Oracle. How are we being called to work our light this week? We'll pull 2 cards from here. There's that rose again. You got the ever unfolding rose. You're being cracked open. You're realizing that whatever you're going through is happening for you and not to you. You're realizing that. Then you also have the star seed. You're thinking about, listen, what lights me up? Look at the Saturn energy with the rings. Maybe you're learning to do more of what lights you up. Maybe that's what you're learning to do. And that's challenging with, the way that the 3D is. And we have to work. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't even have time to play. Dolphin energy is about playful. You're like, I need to take some time off. I need to do something that I enjoy. I need to embrace my inner child and let my inner child go free. And it's going to be astonishing how you definitely, I feel like with the karmic energy of Saturn, you are healing your inner child a little bit more this week. You've been working on that. And the fact that you have been working on healing your inner child and doing more of what you love and playing and taking time off, even when the responsibilities, Saturn could be responsibility energy to achieve a goal. You have so many responsibilities and it can be so challenging, and most times you don't even take a breather. Most times you don't even you work 6-7 days or something like that. You work hours and hours, 10 hours straight or 12 hours straight or something like that, and you're like, I have to stop doing this. And you learn that, wow, I'm working smarter, not harder. I've given myself the leverage. I've given myself some time to do what I love and to do, even if that's just chilling, even if that's not doing anything but relaxing at home. This is you not doing anything, no really work. You know what I'm saying? If you have children, it's like, no, me time this week, scheduling in me time this week. Saturn time, scheduling in me time this week, so I can just think, so I can breathe, so I can meditate, so I can whatever I want to do. I need to take a load off. But there's ascension happening because you're being cracked open, and whatever challenges you're facing, you're saying, listen, I know, and you probably already know, but you have to remind yourself, I remember that this is happening for me, not to me. I remember that this is happening for me, not to me. Top of the deck energy is in Rama. It says where you're being called to journey to. That's the travel energy of the Four Swords and the World card. At some point this week, and you're probably already feeling it, we're into this week. Today is Sunday, it's the first day of the week. And you may be feeling your soul pulling you, calling you to move somewhere, to go somewhere, to do something. Six of Swords, travel. Six of Swords is traveling. Four of Swords is traveling. And the World is traveling also. Right now, top of the deck, this is your primary energy. And your soul is calling for you to journey to a place. And it could be inward so that you can reconnect with your inner child. And the results are just simply astonishing. Bottom of the deck is the Great Gathering. It's all coming together. You're going to be receiving a lot of intuitive hits, and you may meet someone who is a part of your soul tribe family, the Dolphins, your soul family. Okay. And it could be someone younger than you. That's possible with the Dolphins and the children energy, but it doesn't have to be. That Saturn energy is like old, so it could be someone a little bit older than you, maybe a bit younger than you, that you meet while you're out somewhere doing something. And maybe through conversation, you get this intuitive hit, and it just really opens up your mindset in some kind of way. You understand? So let's finish up this reading with a couple messages from I think it's the Spirit of the Animals Oracle. Let's get a couple messages from here. Our podcast is going to air every week. It's going up today, but after today, it's going to go up on Saturday, and we'll talk about the week ahead on the podcast. And we'll, what we do over there, we're going to look into the transits for the upcoming week, and then we're going to also pull some cards. Wow, look in this deck. look what was left in this deck. This card comes from the Life Path Oracle. So we're going to reveal what that is in a minute. Wow. I can't believe that got mixed up in there because I'm so meticulous about when I put the decks back, you know, in the boxes. So we definitely need to see what that is talking about. Okay, 2 messages. What 2 spirit animals have messages for us today about the week ahead? We'll also look at the top and the bottom of the deck. How much is this? Okay, we got 3. I guess we'll keep it. They came out together. Could be something significant about 3s. Okay. We have the unicorn. Infinite possibilities. You know, unicorns are part of the horse family. So this is about taking action. This is about freedom. So the unicorn says, you are the sovereign of the seen and the unseen worlds. There it is. The seen is going to be that 3D Saturn energy. The unseen is going to be this Hangman Neptune kind of energy. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light. Abandon the darkness. But I would say don't abandon the darkness. Because maybe we've done that so long. Embrace the darkness. Embrace the unknown, the unseen. That's what's really going to open up your perspective. Go beyond the ordinary and become legendary. That's happening for someone. That's star card energy. You also have the elk with nobility. You know, maybe you'll take a leadership role. Maybe you've been bumping your head up against, feels like a brick wall or something like that. I don't know. But this week you're going to be celebrating some type of accomplishment with humility. I told you, maybe you're going to finally finish up some kind of project or something like that. And it could be something you've been working on within the self. It could be something you've been working on at, you know, at a workplace or something like that, or just a challenging situation you've been dealing with. And there's a breakthrough coming this week. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces will guide you. They always do, but maybe you'll have a more powerful source that's going to guide you this week. Somebody might get a raise this week. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. And that 5 of Wands is that challenging energy. And you taking action. You're like, I'm not sitting around allowing that to consume me. You also have the Lynx. Keeper of secrets. It says take time out from the world. There it is. Be the observer. That's the 4 of Swords, and there's the World card. Take time out from the world. Be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowing. You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. Let's move her up and put this here. Top of the deck energy. The horse. There it is. It says your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you. Where you've been called to journey to. What lights you up. A greater purpose is going to call you this week. You have unlimited reserves of stamina and strength. You may have a blessing where unlimited resources come through as well. And that may be astonishing, because that might be the one thing that you need to finish something or achieve whatever this goal, or finish up a project or whatever it is. You have unlimited reserves of strength and stamina this week. And that's probably because you're taking time out. You know, maybe, you know, power naps, or taking a day off, or, you know, taking part of the day off, or maybe a 4-day weekend or something like that. And that would be really, really nice, because that means you would take October 1st through the 4th off. And you would transition into our 8th month easily. Not dealing with this or that. You follow the winds of change and accomplish your dreams this week. Bottom of the deck energy. There it is, the butterfly. Transformation, the butterfly rebirth. It says you can reinvent yourself. That's what's happening, because some aspect of you is ending, and a more enlightened, ascended version of you is breaking through. Then you start doing what lights you up, or more of what lights you up. You can reinvent yourself this week. Open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. Okay. So what is this card? Leadership. Told you with the elk. There it is. Leadership. Take charge of the situation. You're taking charge of some situation that you've been dealing with. And you're possibly putting your foot down and putting an end to something. You see. So those are the messages for what is happening this week. Yeah, what's happening this week is going to be astonishing. Seriously. Those are the messages. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. And until next time, we'll see you in another video. Love.